Feel like that kind of overconfident, then there's no any room for you to listen another guidance or opinions or that could, if you are lucky, yeah, it could be okay. But if you are not, most of the times it turns out in a very unfortunate, then very some like incident happening during those period, that we call hot blood period. Then many things happening like addicted to the drug, alcohol, or like always wandering like a street dog everywhere, when you have even that little sense that, okay, I feel this is something I should do. I wish I want to do all these things, but maybe I might wrong. If you have that, even that sense, that tremendous helps. That gives you a room to think about, be cautious about your own behavior, your own attitude, and your own way of thinking, Okay, so before I begin with this talking about the humanitarian, I want to understand what you think when we say about humanitarian. How about you, the young girl? When we say humanitarian, what does it mean for you?
Like human behaviors, what humans do,
What what human do, human behavior,
just like regular humanity.
humanitarian. Maybe within that word, we may have a different concept. I think. How about the young boy? You, yeah, yeah. Don't look at him. You, yeah, yeah. When we say humanitarian, what do you understand? How you describe? Definition, right? It's called definition. Definition of humanitarian. Human behavior, or you are similar like her. Human behavior, and that's it. Okay. So when I say humanitarians within in your concept, it's you're thinking that I'm going to talking about human behavior, right? And how about you? The black t-shirt? Yeah?
Probably the basic morals you live by, the principles.
Basic morals, the way you live, characteristics. Mm-hmm. How about you?
It's like humanitarian, you said.
Uh-huh.
It's like helping people who are suffering,
Uh-huh.
helping people who are like undersized, under wealth, like who are poorer than you, just people who are suffering.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we are almost very similar, yeah? We all have a similar concept. And let me tell you what I mean when I say humanitarian, by the way. Yes, absolutely. It involves behavior, characteristic, and then taking care those who are in difficulties. Yeah, the humanitarian, when I'm saying humanitarian, what I am trying to, how to say, uh, tell to all of you is the humanitarian, the definition, the humanitarian is like some sort of like a taking responsible, taking responsible of the well, the what do you call it? well-being of other humans, right? Taking responsible, or kind of like a what do you call it? Yeah, I think taking responsible is good enough. Taking responsible on our shoulder for the well-being of other human beings, right? That's the humanitarian. That's what I mean. Okay, by the way, when I'm saying humanitarian, that's what I'm trying to mean. And how anyone you can give answer. Okay, what do you think that humanitarian is it something needed in our day-to-day life or no? No, humanitarian is no needed. Okay, somebody else? Needed or no needed? What? Say loud. Yeah, is humanitarian is needed in our day-to-day life or no? Yes.
Yeah. Without it, it'd be more anarchy. People do what they want.
Without that,
It'd be anarchy.
NRT.
Anarchy.
What is that?
Like without no government responsibilities, nothing. It'd be chaos, basically.
It creates chaos. It makes mass. You mean? Mass to whom?
Well, other people, animals, or
Pretty much everything. Is that what you mean? Okay. He say yes, you say no, and then somebody else. So he described it. Why is it needed in our day-to-day life? Okay, now your turn. Please say some reason. Give me some reason that why you feel humanitarian is no needed in our day-to-day life.
You said that the way you described it was, well, you said that it was like responsibility of other
Taking responsible
responsibility of other people, or like
well-being of other human beings.
I don't really think you should be taking responsibility of other people's well-being on a daily basis, and
Because
you can take responsibility of your own self too,
mm-hmm.
and I think that's more important
Mm-hmm.
rather than just taking responsibility of other people's well-being.
Mm-hmm. All right, you have a right concept. Yeah, it's important to take care of yourself.
Before you take anyone else's responsibility.
Yeah.
Because if you're not taking care of yourself, then you
Yeah.
can't take care of other people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's why you feel there's no needed
Yeah, on a daily basis.
on the daily basis.
Yeah, every day I don't think it's necessary,
Mm-hmm.
but it is a very important thing.
Oh,
It is still very important, but then it's not needed. I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it should be necessary on a daily basis.
okay, okay. And anybody else? Do you have any opinion? Say it. Yeah, don't hesitate, okay? Don't hesitate. Say it. Yeah, very wonderful. Look, I got two different answer. You see, both has a reason why they are thinking. One say yes, and he have a reason. Another, she said no, she also has a reason. Somebody else? No? Don't you have any thoughts? Are you willing to share your thoughts? Or you want me to share my thoughts? Huh? Your thoughts. Okay. I'll share my thoughts for sure. But I really want to listen your thoughts, Before I share my thoughts, I want to understand your thought. Anybody? No? No any additional thoughts? How about you? Yeah. What do you feel? Which you have your own opinion or you are agreeing with any of
I agree with
him? What is your name? Yan. You agree with Yan? Same reason or you have additional more? You have more reason.
I mean, I'm on like 50-50 for both no and yes because what he said and he said, I agree on both of them.
It makes sense. Both reasons are make sense. So you are in between. Yeah, interesting. Yes. So you see, we got three different view, three different concept. And that's how we kind of like gain knowledge, understand each other's view. When we understand each other's view, then we can help or support each other's because we understand what he or she feels. Okay, now let me tell you my thoughts anyway. So what I feel, the humanitarians, uh, I feel it is important in our day-to-day life. Not necessarily you have to agree with me, okay? I'll tell you all the reasons why I feel, and then from then you can decide it is still important or not. You want to change your mind or not. You want to modify your view or not. It's up to you. So, why I feel this is important is, in short, that as I described earlier, the definition of humanitarians, some sort of like a taking responsible for of well-being of other human being, right? Well, other human being. I mean, it is, for instance, like that is actually the skillful means of kind of like a taking care yourself. When you take care others, other will take care you. When you ignore others, other will ignore you. When you argue to others, other will argue to you. When you talk nice to other will talk nice to you. You see, yeah, that is, you are right. So you have to take care yourself. But the humanitarian, as I describe the definitions, it is also very important for benefit yourself. It is really, it's when we say directly, it is directly looks like it is helping others, but actually indirectly it is helping yourself. See, education is also like that. When you share your education with others, and other will share the educations to you. If I don't share my education, other will not gonna share education with me. So whatever I learned with my own kind of like an intelligent capability, and that's it, I can gain, I can achieve, I can learn. I cannot learn more than that because there's nobody wants to share their knowledge with me, right? So yeah, it is the skillful means, it is the smart way of actually taking care of yourself. Okay, that is why I feel this humanitarian is important in our day-to-day life, daily life too. And then, okay, when I want to talk about this humanitarian, so there will gonna be, such as he described, like it will gonna involve some moral, and what else you say? Basic principles, yeah, basic principle and morals. Yes, it is definitely. It will involve those kind of basic principle and morals. Yes. So the today that I want to share with you about so how to understand and practice this humanitarian. So I want you to understand there are total. I want you to understand there are 9 kind of like a basic principles or moral. There are 9 morals which I want to give you. Actually, there are more. Okay, because I don't want to talk everything, so it is like too long to implant in your mind, memorize or what implant or memorize whatsoever we call. So today I just want to talk about this 9 basic principle. As long as any individual able to do all those 9 or some, not necessarily everything, from beginning, just learn after learning and able to put into practical everything, it's not possible for the most people. Maybe some exceptional, they may able to do it, but mostly but still it is better to understand what does actually mean, so we can set up our goal or the destination. Okay, in order to practice the humanitarian, that is the something, that destination, that till that we can improve ourselves to practice humanitarian. Even though right now oneself unable to implement all of those basic principles, but still always knowledge comes first, right? And then practical. After second step is practical. And then when we try to put into practical, it is also has to be very gently, gradually. No need to rush, right? Gradually try to improve one's own behavior, those basic principles. So those, okay, so first let me give you the number and then we can discuss more about one by one. So the first thing is that humanitarian, when we talk about humanitarian, to put into the practical, the individual needs to kind of like be able to, it says the first one, pay kind backs to parent. Understand? One thing, one basic principle for practice humanitarian. The individual, whoever willing to pay back their kind to their parent and who are actually doing it, and that is makes that individual is trying to put into practical this humanitarian, you know. And then the second one is what do you call it? Respecting to the elders and not necessarily only elders, more knowledgeable or educated than oneself. Okay, so second one, the humanitarian, the basic principle is respecting to those who are elder. Means actually it is saying more experience than you, actually indirectly saying that, who have a more life experience, And then who are more educated, learn it, right? Respecting. We will go through detail why need to respect. I think nowadays this like a modern society, respect is like a little bit hesitating, why I have to respect elder. No, elder doesn't know anything. They are lacking the language. They are lacking today's knowledge. We may think that, but anyhow, they have more life experience than we do, those elders. They already gone through that old ages that which we are going right now. Anyway, so we discuss the reason later. The second one is that, you understand? Keep in mind that, keep it note, right? And then the third one, it's be supportive to neighbors and to nation, right? Be supportive, be helpful towards your own neighbor and nation. And then the fourth one is follow the footstep of noble person and kind of like having a far vision. These two together, the fourth principle, basic principle. Follow the footstep of noble person, and it's called like lastingness or the far vision. I will tell you what does it mean, far vision. And then the fifth one, it's like be able to know the limitness of wealth for oneself. That is also the basic principle of humanitarian. Understand what I mean? Be able to know, be able to aware one's own limitness of wealth. Means how much wealth do we really need it for our survival, right? We need to understand the limit. Otherwise, it creates lots of problem. Anyway, and then the sixth principle is, here it advises less jealous to all. Less jealous. But if you can do completely no jealous, excellent. But even though you are unable to do the completely no jealous, but at least reduce your jealous towards other, towards your friend, towards your neighbor, towards your community, less jealous. That's the sixth. And then the seventh one, do not listen or obey the wrong advice or wrong recommendation, together with the self-sustaining. Understand? Self-sustaining? Huh? Self-esteem. Yeah, it's kind of like a self-esteem or self-sustaining. Or other way we can put like that one who are capable of doing the work independently. Right? That's self-sustaining. Does it make sense? Self-sustaining? Does it make sense? No, don't look each other. Just look to me and then answer. You both can answer me. Not necessary only one. Does it make sense? Does it make sense? Self-sustaining. Yeah, self-sustaining Okay, that's two together. Okay, do not listen or obey wrong advice or recommendation with the self-sustaining. That's the seventh principle, right? And then the eighth one is, I'll just say very simple word like big heart. Be a big heart. You know what I mean? Big heart. And be able to carry heavy load. You know what I mean? I'll talk about it. Big heart and be able to carry the heavy load. That's the eighth basic principle to put into practical the humanitarian. And then the ninth one, faithful, being a faithful or devoted to Triple J. And according to Buddhism, we call to be a faithful or devoted to Triple J. And other religions may have their own kind of like a object of devotion. Okay, that's doesn't matter as long as above all those eight basic principles, either even Buddha teach that, or Jesus teach that, or what do you call it, Krishna teach that, or whatsoever. As long as Allah, yeah, as long as long as they are guiding all this right guidance, doesn't matter whoever advising. But here we are being a Buddhist, so we're recommending be a faithful and devoted to Triple J. You know what I mean? Triple J? Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, right? Being a Buddhism that we pay respect, we are devoting to Buddha as a guidance, Dharma as a protection, Sangha as a companion to practice the Dharma. We need it, right? It's just like a classmate. Sangha is just like a classmate. And Buddha is like a teacher. And Dharma is like a subject. So you need to rely on all three, right? Without teacher, whatever the subject, you won't be able to understand. And without subject, there's nothing to learn, right? And without companion, it's easy to get bored then, right? When there's a companion, it boosts our interest. It helps to generate the, what do you call it, some sort of like an interest. Therefore, so okay, anyway, so there are more actually. This is not at all, this is not completed, okay? But still today I just want you to understand these 9 basic principles. So you please try to note it in your mind, or also you can note it in your paper too if you want. But that's what it means, the humanitarian. When someone, any individual, they try to practice those basic principles, and then you can tell yourself, you don't have to ask anybody. You can say, yes, I am practicing humanitarian. And I know what humanitarian is. First of all, I know what humanitarian is. And then if you are implementing all this principle, then you can say, I am practicing humanitarian. And if you are perfect on all this basic principle, then you can say, I am perfect in humanitarian. You see, that's how we gain knowledge first, and then put into practical. and then gradually make it perfect, right? So the first one, okay, now we talk detail a little bit about the first, all those principles. The first principle which I introduced you is what? Remember? Anybody? What is the first one? What's the first principle? Hmm? Yeah. Pay.
Kindness back to your parents.
Yeah, pay kind back to your parents, right? So why? Why we have to pay kind back? Hmm? You pay kind to your parents, you'll get kind back from your parents. Because they put you into this world. So yep. You see? Yeah, that's right. They have been kind to you. And then, yeah, if you be kind to them, they will give you back their kind, right? Absolutely, that's the one thing. And not only that, but also they already have been kind to us. Right now, where am I? It is all because of my parent. How many you are educated right now? Without your parents' support, you will not gonna be here where you are right now. In short, the kindness of parent we are introducing in a four great kind that which they have been provided already to us. As we saying like that kindness of protecting our life. You know what I mean? Kindness of protecting our life, kindness of giving this body, and kindness of showing the world, and kindness of providing the facility of education. And some parents, they educate themselves to their children, right? So those are the what we are talking about when we talk about the kindness which we receive from our parent. Four great kindness. We can combine. If we talk about detail, there are many kindness they have been done for us, but we can categorize into those four. So for those four are what? The kindness of giving body, kindness of protecting my life, kindness of showing the world, and kindness of providing education or providing the facility for education. Every parent that I think all of us here, we receive all those kind from our parent. Therefore, we are right now live. We are kind of like know a little bit about world, and we are gaining educations day by day because of their support, because of their kindness. Therefore, isn't it fair to pay back their kindness? So the particularly those ages that which I'm talking about, like from 14 onwards, the blood hurt period, need to think about those kindness occasionally, not necessary every day, but occasionally think about those kindness which your parent already have been provided. So that makes you not overconfident. You wanna pay respect. When you think about those things, then you wanna pay respect to your parent. And when you pay respect to your parent, yes, parent will definitely give you some recommendation which is very necessary for your life. Although it is not really kind of like a sweet word. You know what? It is just like a medicine, right? Very bitter, but it cures. But it cures wound, but it cures disease, illness, sickness. It is like that. Understand? Occasionally, you have to think about what does it mean, I say, the kindness of giving this body. Without parent, how we gain this body, right? That's why we are saying this kindness of giving this body, which we have right now. And then why I am saying that kindness of giving a life, protecting my life. When we born, almost like from day one, when we born, almost like a till 5 years for sure. If parent, and particularly mother maybe, if they don't give affect or kind of like give us whatever we needed, like nutrition, clothes, and everything, 100% sure I will not gonna survive. I will gonna die. I don't know how to take care of myself at that moment. Only I know is cry for 1 year, right? Only cry. Hungry, cry. Cold, cry. Pee, cry. Poo, cry. Everything is one language. Cry, cry, cry. But the parent understand. Or when baby cry, they put clothes. When baby cry, give some food. Or the milk, right? That very nutritious milk. Without this, I am 100% sure I am not here today. I will not gonna survive. That is the reason I'm saying that kindness, providing, protecting my life. Kindness of protecting my life. Today I am survived. I am alive because of them. And then third one is showing the world. Yes, showing the world means parent is our first teacher we learn from, like how to speak, how to eat, how to work, those very basic things. And show the world, introduce to the everyone, friends, relatives, educating all the necessary things. That's why it is saying kindness of showing the world. And then kindness of providing all the education and then the facility of education. Yeah. Who are able to pay themselves all the fees and so on. I think most of us, like when I mean like very young, okay? You may not working, so the clothes, food, everything has to receive from parents. They cook for you, they prepare all the clothes for you every day. It is not a really easy chore, easy task. Like repeating that same. I will not gonna do that. I'm sure. I like the I am the type of person who I won't be able to do it. I think like repeating all this for every day, working so hard for their son or daughter. Therefore, I feel like very amazed that they have this courageous, they have this like strengthness. That's really admirable, actually, if we think carefully. But we need to think that. If we don't think, we feel like, oh, this is especially that period, because we are already live with our parents for a long time and hearing the same advice almost every week or every day and feel bothered by it sometime. And we think like, oh, please, mother, please, father, can you can you give me some break, right? Yeah, I'm not saying that only our response, maybe parent has to think about something, but mainly from our side, we need to understand that they have been working so hard for us and they deserve to give you some recommendation. Actually, those all recommendation is for you, for us, for me, not for themselves. Most of the time, highly percentages are for me. And now you are getting close to adult, maturing, right? Now, isn't it your time, your turn to do something for them? Normally, simple, we say like, okay, when I do something to you, when you are not paying kind back to me, I'm saying, oh, that's unfair. What is your name? Rinchen is unfair to me, right? Even I can say this word, just I did one kind to her. That is also not like protecting her life, protecting, giving body or showing world. No, nothing. Maybe I just give some chocolate to her. And then tomorrow she is not giving any chocolate to me, or whatever she's having, she's not sharing with me. I feel like that's unfair. Yesterday I gave her chocolate. Today she is completely ignoring me. Right? We feel that. We feel this is unfair. If we feel even that kind of little thing is unfair, then how? How about the parent? Isn't it unfair that we are not doing anything for them? It is so unfair then, isn't it? It goes without saying, isn't it? What do you think? Does it goes without saying? Yeah, yeah. You can answer me. It goes without saying, right? Even this little thing we feel unfair. If that the case, the parent who take care you till now, how many years? Not one day, not giving one chocolate. Every single day, making sure you are healthy, you are survive, you are educated, right? Now, when you gradually becoming adult, mature, now, okay, kids, okay, that's exceptional. Maybe they don't know how to think, how to do all these things. But now you are getting mature, right? Getting close to adult, and then now you are capable. So now you should do something for them. Even little things like helping your parent to cleaning house, cooking food, laundering, and going together for the grocery. These are all also knowledge, something needed for your life, your future too, not only right now. So that these are the small way that you can pay kind back. These are also paying kind back. Okay, when we say pay kind back, not necessarily that when your mother is something like in a hospital, then visiting, it's paying kind. That is paying kind back, yes, but don't wait till that moment. When they are alive, when they are together, appreciate what they did, and then help, work together. When we work together, everything become easy rather than letting do one person in a kitchen whole day, cooking whole day. If you go there and just help to chop some vegetables or whatsoever, then job can be done sooner. And then after that, you and your parents get a little more rest than usual. That's also paying kind back. Paying kind back, not necessarily you wait until they get sick and hospitalized, then you visiting them with some flower and then crying and saying, so, oh mother, you get well, blah 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 blah. That is good, but not only that. paying kind back has many different ways, right? Which I describe it right now is just that paying kind back to your parents in a daily chores, right? Everyday chores. That what she is doing, what he is doing, is there. You even ask to your parent, father, mother, is there anything I can do for you? Just let me know without hesitation. And be there for them. Yes, definitely, this is the age you want to go out, you want to hang out and go to the party. I don't know, go to where? Like, this is the age, yeah. But sometime maybe okay. Even your parent, if you get permission, they will let you go. Maybe, I don't know. I cannot say that behalf of them, okay? That depend on a completely the parent. But hopefully, if you are being nice to them, they will also think about you. Yeah, they may give you say something. Okay, go there, but don't be late after that time, certain period of time. Make sure you're back at home at this time. Anyway, so that's how kind of like a paying kind back to your parent. Not necessarily paying kind back. You have to wait till you become very graduated and successful business, or you get job. You don't have to wait till that. Now you are already becoming adult, getting close to adult. Now you are capable to help your parent in a many different way. So that way you start paying their kind back from now. That's the humanitarian. That's what I mean, the pay kind back to your parents, the first one. And then the respect to elders and educated person. Second one, right? Why? It is benefiting for myself. If I respect to those elder, if I respect to those educated person, then they also will gonna willing to teach me, willing to tell me what is good for me, because they have already gained this experience. They live the life we are living right now. They already crossed that kind of like a age. So they have more experience. And then educated one, yes. For instance, even the job, even the job, you have to respect your boss, right? If you don't respect your boss, your boss will kick you out, huh? Fire out, huh? You see? So respect is the kind of like a method making relationship closer, you know. Disrespect, it put far away. Our relationship will gonna be kind of like a difficult. And then when you pay respect, and they also willing or love to share whatever they have knowledge, to gain their knowledge, the respecting them is the one way. It is, isn't it very simple? Somebody really disrespecting you, will you willing to share the knowledge with that person? No, right? That is very simple, right? If anyone paying respect to you, then you love to share your knowledge, isn't it? That's how you benefiting yourself by respecting others. Actually, it is benefiting myself. But this kind of things we all need to practice together, not only works from one side. We pay respect to the elders and educated, and there is also responsibility in an elder. Elder also has a responsibility. An educated person also has a responsibility. That's their responsibility. This is not we are talking here right now. We are only talking about our side responsible, right? But actually, if I just say a few words, the elder also should be kind to the younger. That's like two side has to work together, not only one side. Okay, so the younger respect, elder doesn't not being any kind to the younger, then that's not fair. Younger has to pay respect to the elder, but at the same time, elder must be kind to the younger. And when both sides work in that way, then it works perfectly. But here, mainly, we are talking about particularly to the younger. It's better to pay for your benefit, for your sake, better to pay respect to elders and educated person. We are not talking about their responsibility here right now. It does not mean they don't have any responsibility. Okay. Okay, then the third one is be supportive to neighbors and nation. That's easy to understand, right? So I don't have to talk about how it helps you, right? Indirectly, it is benefiting myself actually. When I be nice to my neighbors, I'm always welcome in that neighbor. So if I be naughty to my neighbors, wherever I go into that area, always they try to make some difficult for you, no? Tease you, or I don't know, many things that can be done. Anyway, so that's easy to understand. And then the fourth one, the follow the footstep of noble person and to have a far vision, as I earlier described earlier. To follow the footstep of noble person. What does it mean? It's easy to understand, right? Yeah. What does it mean?
It's like having your own model.
Yeah. Okay. In one way, we can say easily that follow the footstep. Who are noble person now? If I have to follow the footstep of noble person, first I have to know whether that person is noble or not. And what makes the noble person? We have to know, right? Before we follow his or her footstep, we have to make sure that particular him or her is noble. How we'll know? How we will know? Huh? Don't forget. It's just very easy. Just don't forget. Okay, how we know that particular person is noble or not is as so far what we talk about, what we covered about. First principle, second principle, third principle, right?
If they're following those.
If the individual following those principles, that makes that person noble. And then there are also there are other principles too. When the individual follows these principles, and that makes that individual noble, then we can follow a step, their footstep. That's what it means, okay? When we say follow the footstep of noble person means, okay, the person who already following the above mentioned as well as later all of those basic principles, who practicing those, in short, who are practicing the humanitarian, that person can understood as a noble person. Then we can follow that type of person footstep. If that individual not following all this, then keep silent. We don't have to be rude, we don't have to be neglect, we don't have to be rejected. Just ignore and let it be. You go your own way, let him go his own way, right? And then the lastingness or the far vision. That what I mean. Like be is some sort of like a able to see the far your future, you know. Don't be a short temper. It means like don't be a narrow minded. Don't see only the temporary benefit. Try to see far, years and years after. If I do this, it will gonna benefiting me like years and years, decades and decades. For instance, like education learning is very tough, difficult. Although it is difficult, but who have a far vision, they will take it that difficult because he or she is seeing that future. Okay, although this is very difficult for now, but it is needed for my future, like after 1 decade, 2 decade, right? This is very needed. Like that kind of that type of person, one should try to make it like a far vision, you know, look far, not be the narrow. That's the humanitarian. And likewise, the fifth one, which we talk about, be able to aware or be able to know one's limitness of wealth, right? That is also important. We have to understand how much really finance or the wealth we need it. Actually, it is including food too. You know, that is, I am bad about it. I cannot understand my own limit of food. That's why I'm gaining more and more weight. That's my loss. Likewise, wealth. Wealth is actually more dangerous than maybe food. Food is also danger, right? Getting fat and fat is like unhealthy. But anyhow, I think like both is needed to understand the limit. But more those finance, wealth, we have to think about: do I really need it? If we don't think about those, then if you just follow your instinct, right? Your instinct will gonna tell you, oh, go for it, go for it, go for it. You become millionaire, you wanna go for it. You become billionaire, still you wanna go for it. So you never get rest actually. Then actually money, wealth, the finance, wealth, why we need it? To support our life. So we have a comfortable life, isn't it? If money pushing you to do every day and night, busy, then when we will gonna get comfortable? Then money's purpose is not fulfilling. Purpose of wealth is to make comfort, both physical and mental actually. But if you just not knowing the limit that what you really needed and wanted, two different things, right? Wanted, needed. Whether you need it or want it. If you follow the wanted, then your life will gonna end up like always rush, busy means not comfortable. And understand the needed and then be limit. That is also good for your friends too, you know. Nowadays, this is very dangerous, I'll tell you. You know, this is all happening in the all over the world. Those few people want to control the world by finance. It's very danger. It's creating danger for everyone too. They are. It is serious. It is serious. You guys have no idea because if you really look carefully, there are some people who's trying to control the world, not just nation, control the world through wealth. Because wealth, finance is something that everybody needs it. So they can control easily through that others. So you see, if even those people, if they understand their limit, actually they don't need that much money for themselves to have a comfortable life. Absolutely no needed. How much? It's we even Dalai Lama has to used to saying that, no matter how much you are rich, only the bowl of food you can eat, right? That's all. You cannot eat more than that because your stomach is limit. Your bowl is limit. Likewise, your body is also limit. How many clothes you can wear? One at the time. You cannot wear like if you put like a 10 fancy luxury cloth on one body, even everybody will gonna say you are crazy, right? So only one at the time. So okay, anyway, in short, need it or want it, right? So we need to choose. Need it? Yes, absolutely. Whatever needed, we have to make effort to get it, right? Once we get that what we need, then we have to understand our own limit. But for the sake of others, yes, then you can still make it and then help others, right? You make extra. If you want to help others, that's a different story. If you just want to support yourself, then you understand your need, right? That's two different situations. If you want to help others, your own community, your own friends, and then in a back home whatsoever, then yes, you may need it. That is still needed. It is not wanted. Okay, don't worry that you are not crossing the boundary. You needed that to support. But for yourself, then you have to think carefully how much am I really needed. Okay, so being wise and then understand the one's need, that's also called humanitarian. Okay, I'm trying to boiling down everything. Whatever I'm talking about, it's all I'm talking about humanitarian. How to practice humanitarian. Okay, and then the sixth one is less jealous to all. That's easy to understand, right? Less jealous. That our friend circle used to saying that it is very interesting, that we have saying when our close friend, for example, in an exam, when our close friend failed exam, we feel sad for them, right? We feel like, oh. And then on the other hand, the funny thing is when my close friend get the mark above me, oh, then I generating jealous. How? Why? He got more mark than me. That kind of situation, we have to try to reduce our jealous, That kind of situation it is talking about. And then this is one example. Likewise, in every field, doing business, when our friends become more success than myself, then jealous, right? But when they are a fail, we feel like, oh, sad. Actually, if we able to do instead of jealous, we have to rejoice, be happy for them. Okay, they also has to. Everybody has to improve, develop. But still, if you are unable to rejoice, at least try to reduce your jealous, right? Within a classmate, within a friend circle, within a community, in a many different fields, right? Business, job, education and support. When my friend get more support in my community, then I feel jealous too. Why he is getting more support than me? I am the one who's supposed to get more support than him or her. That kind of mind, we kind of like sometimes unconsciously it is happening. you know that is little bit we are when this kind of jealous is generating, that we are kind of like a failing to practice the humanitarian actually. Understand? Clear? Is it clear? Uh-huh. Then now the seventh one which we are talking about, the do not listen or obey the wrong advice or recommendation, and instead you have to be a self-sustaining, right? What does it mean now again? What does it mean? How we distinguish whether I should listen that, whether that is wrong advice or not, whether that is wrong recommendations or not. First we have to identify it. In order not to listen, first we have to have identified that that is wrong advice, that is wrong recommendation, right? How we identify? Hmm? How we recognize that? Hmm? Is the way of what? How's the person acts? Yeah, that's another again becoming like, okay, what makes the act bad? Exactly. That is exactly how we can identify it here. Again, how to be, what does it mean? Self-sustaining, right? Work independently. Above, we talk about all those basic principles, right? If someone giving you advice or recommendation contradicting with those basic principles, that is wrong advice. That is wrong recommendation. That's how we identify whether it is wrong recommendation or not, whether it is wrong advice or not, right? So, by educating oneself, all those basic principles help us to how to be a self-sustaining. If someone's trying to teach you, oh, you don't, it is not necessary for you to pay kind back to your parent. That is wrong advice. Now, at that time, you have to be your self-sustaining. You have to maintain this basic principle. Don't lose your basic principle because of your friend advising or recommending something else. Likewise, some of your friend may recommending you. Oh, jealous is okay. To be jealous. you know and when that kind of recommendation, when your friend gives you, then you have to be self-sustaining. You maintain your less jealous than the increasing more, right? Self-sustaining, that's what it means. Self-sustaining, you understand? Work independently. Work independently is not saying like without knowing anything, then just you decide yourself whatever. It's not talking about that. You educate yourself what is right, wrong, all this, understand, then work independently. That is true freedom now. Understand? When we talk about freedom, not necessarily you just follow whatever your mind says. Be little rational. And that's how, when you kind of like a follow, then that's really makes you free from many difficult. It simply, it frees you from following the wrong advice, right? That's freedom. That's how we should understand what freedom means. Sometimes we get mess about freedom or free speech, free, meaning, and then you say whatever you want. It doesn't work. Free speech does not mean that, right? And then the seventh one is the big heart we talk about, right? Big heart and be able to carry heavy load, right? What does it mean now? Literally be able to carry heavy load. Means human's life, we will gonna encounter with the many different situations. Some are favorable, some are unfavorable. Some are easy, some are difficult. Easy, favorable, when we encounter with a situation like favorable, easy, we have no obligation, we have no problem, we can carry that heavy. Doesn't matter how much heavy that is, we will love to carry that favorable condition. We will love to carry that heavy and the easy one. The, make it oneself big-hearted and able to carry the heavy load. When does this practice needed? When one encounter with the difficulties, unfavorable conditions, such as losing, kind of like I don't know, like separate from your relation, separate from your friends, right? And there's a disagreement between your family members. When that kind of situation is happening in our life, being a human has to go through. These are all just kind of like a part of life. So just understand that. Make oneself big hearted and be able to carry the heavy load. When we encounter those difficulties, don't be like, okay, now I am the failure. My life is something like useless. Don't just give up immediately. Understand this is part of life. And that difficult will not gonna remain there forever, for sure, 100% sure. It will gonna fade after a few hours, after a few days. It will gonna fade. Everything is like that. Enjoyment is also gonna fade after, okay, how much you can enjoy the food? 15 minutes, 20 minutes. After that, that enjoy is faded, right? Likewise, that same principle goes to the difficulties too. No matter how much difficulties we encounter, that difficult only has a period. It is also will gonna fade. So keep that in mind, and then be big heart and be able to carry the heavy load. You see, when anyone who able to do that, that is what we can say, I am practicing humanitarian. You know, don't be sensitive. I mean, in short, don't be sensitive. Encounter little difficult, then blaming everyone, blaming oneself, and then feeling something useless, feeling something life is no meaning. Don't feel that. Be big heart. Be able to carry the heavy load. That's what it means. And then the last one now. Last one, which I said, be faithful or devoted to Triple Gem, right? Why? Why we have to be faithful and devoted to Triple Gem? Why? That above all I mentioned about humanitarians, those knowledge, wisdom coming from Triple Gem. If there's a no Triple Gem, we won't be able to gain this knowledge, this wisdom. Therefore, we faithful to Triple J. Therefore, we devoted to Triple J. You understand? There's a much more reason. Not only that, there's a much more. But today we just covered this. So kind of like even in a normal way, that when someone's being nice to you, you are being kind back to them. It's like respecting them. It's the way, isn't it? Likewise, this all knowledge, whatever we learn till now, that's basic principles. Without Triple J, it's hard for us to gain those knowledge. You know, because of Triple J, we are these kind of basic principle wisdom knowledge is available for us. Therefore, we are faithful into them. When we say Triple J, pray prostration, offering something, this is all different way of paying respect. Prostration is one way of paying respect. Offering is another way of paying respect. Circumambulation is another way of paying respect. Why we have to pay respect now, in short? Because all those knowledge, wisdom, we gain through them. We won't be able, maybe somebody can gain them by thinking so much, maybe, hopefully, if that person is very fortunate. But generally, almost it is impossible without them. We will not able to gain this knowledge, right? Therefore, we have to be faithful and we have to be devoted. And there are many other reasons, as I believe that you all guys also know a little bit, since Lopen is here. As I said yesterday, Lopen is also trying his best that whatever he knows, whatever he gained the knowledge, that share with you. And particularly what we have knowledge is a spiritual knowledge, right? Not the academic knowledge. It's a little different. We have a spiritual knowledge. That spiritual knowledge is also needed in your life. Both knowledge is needed, as I mentioned yesterday. Okay, so I just want to say that one. But now, are we covered all those 9 basic principles, right? You get it? You get it? You get it? You get it? No? Oh, oh my. So now, do you want me to repeat again? Okay, no, I don't want to repeat either. I talk till now, and then now you're saying I don't get it. Then what should I do? What can I do? Repeat it. Okay, you're right. Okay, anyway, so this is all I want to talk about today. So if you have any question, any kind of question, and especially related with those basic principle which the doctrine, humanitarian doctrine, that which we discuss about 9 basic principle. If you have question, we can discuss. How about you? No question. You now enlightened? Good. No question means enlightened. Either enlightened or completely ignored, okay? There could be other way too. Anyway, so that's it, right? You all good? Good? You have a question? Yeah? Say it. Out loud. Out loud, so everybody can hear.
What are some of the things you say that are respectful to others?
Out loud?
What are some of the things that you say for respect from the elders?
What are the?
Like, what are some things you can say?
Yeah. So helping them. For instance, when they are unable to walk properly, cross properly, helping them to cross the road, helping them to lift up when they want to stand up. Like the many ways to pay respect, yeah. And do start from your own grandparents. Do you have grandparents? Yes. That is the way you should start from. First, you pay respect and support to your grandparents, then to the other grandparents. Okay, are we good? Okay, thank you.
ल अब हाम्रो मन्डेको इभिनिङमा हुन्छ है 5 to 6:30 मन्डे 5 to 6:30 र अब आजको जुन अब गुरुले इङ्ग्लिसमा भन्नुभयो होइन विशेष के थियो भने कसरी हाम्रो मानवता कसरी हाम्रो भित्र जगाउने भन्ने कुरामा केन्द्रित भएको त्यो भित्र चाहिँ विशेष गरेर 8वटा बुँदामा चाहिँ गुरुले होइन अनि व्याख्या गर्नुभएको थियो त्यो सबै व्याख्या गरेर यसमा पनि छैन अब के कुराहरू हुन्छ गरिरहेकै छ तथापि अब यो सबै 8वटा कुराहरू चाहिँ कसरी मानवता आफूभित्र मानवता कसरी जगाउने भन्ने कुरामा केन्द्रित रहेर यी सबै कुराहरू चाहिँ त्यो कहाँबाट मात्र सम्भव छ त हाम्रो भित्र गएको मानवताले जगाउनलाई चाहिँ त्यो केद्वारा मात्र सम्भव छ भनेदेखि जबसम्म हामीले बुद्ध धर्म सङ्घको शरणमा जाँदैन जबसम्म हामीले बुद्ध धर्म जुन कुराहरूलाई हामीले चाहिँ पालना गर्दैनौँ तबसम्म ती कुराहरू चाहिँ अब असम्भव छ भनेर भन्दै हुन्छ एट द इन्ड चाहिँ है भनेको मतलब चाहिँ हामीले कन्जुसम भनेर भन्छौँ नि बुद्ध धर्म सङ्घलाई हामीले फलो गर्नुभयो भने उहाँको अनुसरण गर्नुभयो भने उहाँको शिक्षालाई हामीले जान्नु कोसिस गर्यो भने चाहिँ अरू जुन 7वटा कुराहरू छ त्यो चाहिँ अटोमेटिकली होइन अनि हामीमा त्यो कुराहरू चाहिँ विकास हुन्छ भनेर जुन एकदमै के भन्छ एट द इन्ड चाहिँ त्यो अब निष्कर्ष त्यो रहेको छ है अनि त्यो किताब छ नि त्यो बुकहरू छ नि है त्यो बुक चाहिँ जताभावी यसरी त्यो हाम्रो अब अरू किताब जस्तो बेउमा किताब मात्रै राख्नु हुँदैन है त्यो चाहिँ हामीले रिस्पेक्ट दिनुपर्छ किनभनेदेखि त्यो किताबबाट हामीले आइक्यू कुरोहरू छ बुझ्नुभयो नानीहरू आइक्यू